Hello guys, I will be explaining to you the codes that we have been doing. Before that, I want to just explain to you in Matlab, when you open Matlab, you have the editor. In the editor, you write your codes. Then you have the workspace in which your all the Matlab's memory regarding your variables, which I'll explain in a bit, will appear here. Then you will have something known as your command window, in which Matlab will tell if there is any kind of error or is there any answer that comes up that you do not want it to be displaced in the workspace. Perfect. So let's go ahead and let's start. Before writing any kind of codes for Matlab, you need to make sure you need to write the first three lines, which is CLC, clear all. Okay, basically CLC, clear and clear all make sure that anything in Matlab's memory which may affect your new operation will be deleted. For example, Matlab knows that a certain variable is stored as 2 in the previous operation. You cancel that operation, but you do not have clear all, and then you went to the new operation. Matlab will take the previous operation into consideration, and your new value may not be computed. You may actually get a wrong answer. So let's go to line number 4. Let me zoom in, and we will go to line number 4. In line number 4, if you see, I have a percentage sign, and then I have a curly brackets, and I entered, and then I enclosed it with a percentage sign and the curly brackets. If you write any sentence in between such syntax, it means that it will be a comment. What does a comment mean in Matlab? A comment is green in color in Matlab. The first thing that you can notice, it's a comment, and secondly, it has no effects on the code. So why do we write the comments? I write the comments. For example, I'm going to submit it to our instructor. She needs to know what kind of she needs to know exactly what we are doing. What lab are we working for? So basically, this is our lab 1. So basically, she needs to know this, that we are working for our lab 1. She needs to know who are the group members. So anyone reading through the codes will come to know through the comments what the code is about. So it's like a summary or an explanation, or in Matlab's language, we can call it an algorithm. So let's go to line number 13. You see double percentage sign. It's again we are giving it for comments, but this is a different kind of comments. It's a heading. So basically, see, it starts a new section, code for the gathering of data of the graph. So you can actually give heading to your codes, which means that Matlab will not take into consideration about this line number 13. Matlab will not take into consideration. However, it's easy for someone who does not know your project to come and see your code and actually know what is going on. Okay. So basically, if you see line number 14, I've created a variable type of graph equals to menu, and then I have written these things. Okay, basically, let me just go through what it is. So as you can see in our experiment, so I'm going to highlight line number 14 for you guys, and we will go through the line number 14. So in our experiment, guys, we would obviously have two graphs that we need to plot. We have the input voltage versus motor speed as the first graph, and the second graph is motor speed versus motor current. Perfect. So imagine one of your group members have done the experiment. He got the values. Now the second group member want to do the same, another experiment, and he want to get a different set of values. It would make no sense for us to actually just make him code for it again, because that would destroy the purpose of a computational software such as Matlab. So in this, what it do is it will ask the user, as you can see here in the first dialog box, it will ask the user to select an option. Either you can select the first option or the second option. So let's say I selected the first option, and I'll just cancel it because I don't want to go any further. And let's see what happens. You see the variable type of graph here, the variable type of graph is stored as 1 because I selected the first option. However, I'll show you where it is stored as 1. It is stored as 1 in the workspace. However, if you go for the second option, it will store itself as 2. Okay, so this is the thing that Matlab does. Now, to compute this kind of commands, you'll have to write menu, you open your bracket, and you give apostrophes. When you give apostrophes, you're telling Matlab that I'm going to write a string. So now what's a string? A string is any letter or number which cannot be used in a mathematical operation. So basically the sentence, any sentence, you cannot use it in a mathematical operation. So you compute that within a string. So the first string that we will write here, which should be within an apostrophes, is the heading of the menu bar that's going to pop up. Then we separate the next string using a comma, and then we write the next string, which is the first option that will be presented to the user. This is the first option. And then we'll again separate it with a comma, and then we'll go for the second option. Okay, now we'll go for line number 15. Now, let's say the user has selected the first option. So line number 15 tells Matlab if type of graph equal 1. So now why do I say equal 1? Matlab does not understand equal to. What do you mean? When you say Matlab equal to, Matlab says, like, let's say a person is a bad person. When you say Matlab this sentence, you have to say person equal bad person. That means that someone else can come and say that person is a good person. Okay, but however, if you say the person equal bad person, Matlab will not let anyone change the fact. So I'm not letting anyone change the fact if the type of graph equal 1. That means if the user have selected the first option only. If I say equal to 1, it will actually change the user selection. So I'll say equal 1. Again, line number 16 is a comment. I don't need to care. Now, for example, in Miss Louisa's class today, we have selected 10 entries. We have 10 times we have taken the reading. Maybe someone else from the team would go ahead and actually take readings for 20 times. Who knows? If he has a more powerful motor and a more powerful potentiometer, he will take a reading 20 times. So basically, line number 17 allows the user to enter number of entries, and then I'll explain step by step what does the code mean. So input DLG allows the user to enter the number of entries. Okay, the first string, as I explained, is enter the number of entries. This will be the question, and the second string in this case for input DLG will be the heading. Let's go through it again. You see, the first string, if you can see, it is the number of entries, that's the question, and the second string is the heading. You cannot see it right now. I'll cancel it. So basically, we have the input DLG. Then we have string to double. Why did I add string to double? Now, whatever you enter here will be initially stored as a string. Even if you enter the word or the letter 2, it will be stored as a string. So basically, we have the number of data, which will be the heading, and then we have this as explained before. Now, why do we have str to double? The full form is string to double. String is actually whatever you enter here. Even if you enter here a numerical value, it will be stored as a string. As I explained before, a string is something that cannot be used in a mathematical operation. However, this variable, I need to use it in a mathematical operation. So I need to convert it to double. Double is a numerical value. Now again, as you can see, line number 18 to line number 22, it is actually the explanation of the following codes. Now I will start. I need to have the input voltage in one vector. I need to have the motor speed in the second vector, and I need the vector to be as long as the user has selected. For example, if the user have selected 4 entries, that he will enter 4 enters, then it should go for 4 times. If the user have selected 5, it should ask the user, the vector should be 5 length long. So you started a for loop. You can see here the for loop. The for loop is for k. I've given a new name, a new variable k is equal to 1:1 number of entries. So number of entries come from here. So I want, if for example you entered 5, I want k to count from 1 to 5, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I want k to do that. Okay, so for k, I will count 1 to whatever number of entries you have input. Input voltage. The input voltage, and then I have seen in this variable, it's a special variable. I have included parentheses and I've included k comma 1. That means that I want that variable to be a vector which has k number of rows and 1 column. And k, as you can remember, is number of entries. Okay, and again, string to double, input DLG, it will ask to enter input voltage. Again, why I'm converting into double is because I need to do a mathematical operation, which is plot. The same way I'll collect the motor speed, and then I'll end the for loop. Remember, any loop you'll have to end it, and I'll plot it. So this plot command, you enter the x-axis value and then you enter the y-axis value. Now we will sorry, I did not show the plot command. This is the plot command. You enter the x-axis value and then you enter the y-axis value. So basically, if you see here else, I've written else. That means, remember, what was the if condition? The if condition was type of graph. And if the type of graph is equal 1, that means if the user selects the first option here. If the user does not select the first option, if he selects the second option, that means that else, if it is not 1, it should be something else, right? Then we would ask, again, we would ask him how many entries he wants, but this time we would collect the motor current and the motor speed and plot them using the plot command. We will end it, and then we'll have to also end the overall if command. So let me show you how it works for a sample experiment, okay? For a sample experiment, let me just show you how it's supposed to work. So I'll use the run command. Okay, then I'll just bring everything in the center. I'll have the input voltage, I'll select it. Then for example, I need 4 entries. Okay, let's say I want to enter the data 4 times. It will first ask me to enter the first input voltage. So the first input voltage is 0.8. And then motor speed will be 200 for it, and then the second input voltage is 1.8. The motor speed for it, if I remember, is 600. The second input voltage is 2.8. The motor speed, if I remember, is 900. Then we have is 3.8. And the motor speed for it, if I remember, is 1200. And if you can see here, the graph has appeared. And as Miss showed, here is a dead band. You can see the dead band here, right here. This is the dead band. Okay, and obviously we can add the title and the access bar. Okay, so if you have any questions, please put them down in the comment section below.